This was my grandma's too. And I took it from her house when she died. It's incredibly warm. I'm really, really hot right now. I wore it that whole winter after she died. This was my most successful planner, and it's only half full. Would anyone like this planner? This is a journal for a dance history class, and eventually it just became notes and lists. Would anyone like this one? This was my senior prom dress. I almost didn't go to my senior prom because I had an older boyfriend and he didn't want to go. Then we broke up and I was like, screw him, I'm going to my prom. This dress, I got it 20% off from Charlotte Russe because there's a hole in the back. I packaged it up, but it came undone again because I'm a really, really bad seamstress. This is the writer's journal of a 15-year-old who lies to herself. Would anyone like this journal? This one is from classes where I'm learning about body patterning and teaching. Would anyone like this journal? This was my favorite dress in high school. I wore it all the time. I wore it on a date once, and it popped a button. So I had to stop wearing it. But I've kept it all this time. I haven't worn it in years. This shirt I wore in a piece about the death of my best friend's mom. This was my least successful planner, and it has a lot of empty dates, but a lot of good intentions. Would anyone like this planner? These pants were my goal pants, and finally I fit into them, and then I found out that they're super, super ugly. Would anyone look at the journal of a 21-year-old who smokes too much? This journal was from the last time that I bought a 5-star notebook for school. There's a lot of notes in it, and also a lot of failed, good-intentioned projects. Would anyone like this journal? This shirt was my favorite shirt in high school. I haven't worn it in 5 or 6 years, but I haven't gotten rid of it. It's just sitting in my closet, useless. clothes are the clothes, they're new. They're the clothes that I'm wearing for this piece. They have no meaning for me yet, except that I know this is the last day that I'm doing this piece. And after this, these clothes will be the piece that I wore when I performed my senior project, when I did my last piece to ASU. The journals that I've given out, feel free to share them with the people around you. Look at them. Take anything out of them that you'd like to. I don't need those anymore. And the papers that I'm spreading around right now, I thought that I might need, but I decided that they're not really necessary anymore. So feel free to take those as well. I don't need them. Here's thoughts like, I'm so stupid, that I wrote when I was like 12 years old. I don't need that anymore. The thing about scars is, when you first get them, you think, will people only see these scars? I want them to see who I am. But I found that over time, each scar matters less and less. And all that matters is how they've shaped my body. Volleyball? I don't know, said the smiling bike, the glass strawberry. Strawberry bike, glass. Smiling, I don't know, volleyball? I don't know. I broke my clavicle when I was 4. I have no idea how I did it. All I remember about it is that my mom was out of town and I cried a lot. My dad couldn't figure out why. When my mom came home, she was so mad at my dad that he had spent 4 days with me with a broken bone and he didn't notice it. At midnight between October 17th and October 18th. And I was born at home on the day the year the Berlin Wall fell. My mom thought that she was going to die that day because people kept calling her that she hadn't spoken to in years. She She thought it was some sort of serendipitous event that these people would call her on the same day that she died. My mom didn't die that day. That's not what this story is about. This story is more about my own death. I was born at midnight on October 18th, and I was born at home with a midwife because my mom doesn't trust hospitals. And I was 2 weeks late because I didn't want to come out. I had moved so much that every time I descended the birth canal, the umbilical cord, which I had wrapped around my neck twice, was hanging myself. But eventually I came out, as all babies must, and I was this limp, silvery blue thing that wasn't crying. And so the midwife starts to do baby CPR on me. That's where they only use 2 fingers. And she says to my mom, "Julia, Hannah knows the sound of your voice. Call to your baby." And so my mom goes, "Hannah, Hannah, 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 baby, Hannah, 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 come back, Hannah, 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 come back, Hannah, 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 Hannah." And I breathe, and pink spreads from my heart out to my fingertips. And I've heard that story my whole life. That story has defined these papers, these journals, these clothes, these stories that I've told you. That was the beginning.